Welcome, everybody, to the Cincinnati Bengals Weekly Show on the Grueling True Sports Network. The Cincinnati Bengals Weekly Show is brought to you by and powered by Betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding the online casino or sportsbook that's right for you. Make sure you go check them out at Betting.net. I am your host for the Cincinnati Bengals Weekly Show, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I want to welcome in my co-host. First up, Ty Robbins. How you doing, Ty?
What's up, Bengal Nation? I'm excited for this game coming up on Sunday. You know, never mind the narrative of the national media, you know, when all their Bengals aren't making the playoffs and all of this. I'd have to disagree with some of these guys when it comes to we're better than we were last year, right? We kept all of our same coaches, which is hard to do. A lot of times you go to the Super Bowl, they cherry pick the coordinators. So we got mostly everybody back. We lost CJ, but we followed up with Hayden Hurst. I think his numbers are going to be better. And, you know, Ogunjobi went to the dark side over to the Steelers. But we signed B.J. Hill, and we picked up Dax Hill and Zach Carter. So I think we're even better on that side of the ball. So I'm looking forward to coming after some Steelers on Sunday.
All right, and of course, as always, I think we've been doing this. This is like the 8th year, Joe. Help me welcome to the show, number 58, former Cincinnati Bengal linebacker, Super Bowl 23, Joe Kelly. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. What's up? It's exciting. It's exciting time coming off the Super Bowl game. Mike Brown and the Brown. The Bengals they've done so. We talked about when we were played in a Super Bowl. You can remember the following year we lost 10-11 to the Plan B trade or different team. When you look at the season this year, we improved in the most vital weakest area, which was our offense. We went and got 3 bona fide Pro Bowl guys block. In historically 15, 16 years, anytime we helped, it was a guy who guys who got cut, wherever their previous team was. We hoped that they came here and boost their career. In order to be a Super Bowl contender, you got to think that's what we did this year, man. So I am stoked, man. Opinion, man, to be able to see with a legitimate offensive line. We have a young core, young guys, and if we stay healthy, I don't listen to the naysayers. If we stay healthy on both sides, we're going to be a problem for the NFL.
All right, now they start off against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is the most hated team in the city of Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers will have a new quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky. Until Kenny Pickett is ready, the offensive line, I think, is still a major question mark with this team, Ty. They've got Najee Harris, who is a special running back. The receiver core is loaded with some young talent now. I think this is a dangerous game, and all you got to do is go ask the Buffalo Bills, because last year, kind of the same circumstances, everybody in Buffalo thought they were going to the Super Bowl. They're going to blow out the Steelers in week 1. It didn't work out that way for them. Hopefully it turns out different for the Bengals here.
Well, you know, anytime you play a divisional game, it's going to be close, right? These guys know each other. They play each other twice a year. Tomlin's going to hang his hat on his defense. They're pretty loaded. They're going to test, this new offensive line. But their weakness is their offensive line, right? And so they got to contend with Hendrickson. They got to contend with Hubbard. Osai's back in. You're going to have Reeder pushing up the middle, B.J. Hill, all of the guys coming in. Zach Carter's going to rotate in. So I think they're going to have their hands filled with a brand new quarterback, learning a new system, coming in and trying to run their offense. And Najee Hill is good. He really is, but he doesn't have much. They don't have much behind him, right? Benny Snell, come on. So I think if he gets hurt or they run him a lot in the fourth quarter, they're going to start slowing up. So they're going to have their hands up too.
Well, hopefully they won't be able to have him run in the fourth quarter because they'll be too far behind to do that. Joe, my question to you. Everybody talks about the Super Bowl hangover. You were on the team in 88 that came really close, 34 seconds away from winning the Super Bowl. What was the mindset going into that first game at Soldier Field in Chicago?
Well, I got to take in, other factors. We still knew that we had a good team. We knew that it wasn't guys, Max Montoya. There was key guys. We didn't have the same team cohesion. So that we had in '89. That's the case this time. I think what the Bengals did in the offseason, everybody, all the stars, of the team is back there young. These guys are probably maybe at this 88 team going to the 89 side. When I look at this matchup, it's bottom line. You can throw out all the equitable. You can throw out all that. Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'd be different, but what I look at the game. I look at Trubisky being a look at the fact that I think the offensive line. I have some matchup pluses for on our Mike Tomlin team. They're gonna be ready. You got TJ who's going to be a force, but I think that we can jump on those guys early. Joey B can get going. I think which is going to open up our we can jump on those guys early, 2-3 touchdowns ahead, and take because Najee is Najee is one in the league. He runs hard. Size, great size. With line. So we have to take, and we can take him out by scoring. That's what I think we're going to do.
All right. You're breaking up really bad, Joe. But the view in the car is pretty sweet, though, as long as you're not driving. But if you're driving, you're probably in England because you're sitting on the wrong side. Yeah. So when we look at this game, to me, you've got Mitch Trubisky. He can move around. The history of the Bengals is new quarterbacks always give them trouble. Hell, we had Mike White from the Jets went off on him last year. You even go back to 1986, Sunday Night Football against Bubby Brister. Nobody had ever heard of him. Bengals did end up winning that game 22-20, which is really scary. I remember the damn score. And then I think Mark Malone stayed in the NFL just because of the Bengals in the mid-'80s, because I think every good game he ever had was against the Bengals. So when we look at this, Ty, how comfortable are you that this Bengals offensive line is good enough to get it done now?
I think they're going to start off a little slow, like they did last year. Hopefully, I'd like for them to get off to a fast start. Last year, it took them to the third quarter to really get going. But a lot of these guys hardly any of them practice in the whole preseason. So, except for Chris Evans, who, is the third string. But so I think they're going to need some time to get things down, get their calls down, get used to playing with each other. Hopefully Joe gets them going early. But I think they're going to hold up. I think they're a lot solid than they were last year. Ted Karras is really good as a center. I think he's going to be better than Trey Hopkins. He's going to be able to call the calls at the line, make the calls, and make the adjustments. And then once they get the feel for it, I think they're going to really take off. But it might be a slow start in the beginning of this game.
Yeah. Why is Chris Evans the third running back, Joe? He should be the number 2 guy. Am I crazy on that?
No, I agree with you. I think eventually that he will take over that number 2. I working got so he's a lot more experienced. I think when they keep Samaji, they're keeping his experience. But I up to mix matchups that we have because it's hard for a Chris Evans. It's not. I think can defend Samaji. He runs hard. A different element.
We're losing you, Joe. You're
Can
breaking up real bad.
you hear me now?
Hold on. Keep talking.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. What about now? Hear me now?
Just keep talking, I'll tell you. All right, so Ty, when we look at this game, the thing that scares me about the Steelers is they're always good right at the start of the season. And Mike Tomlin, to me, seems to be damn near a better coach with less talent, if that makes any sense. So TJ Watt's an issue. Najee Harris can be an issue. And I think generally, I don't think Bengal fans take this game as seriously as they should. Hopefully the team will. I would assume they would just because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think the Paycor Stadium is going to be rocked, so they're going to get
It's
that.
Paul Brown Stadium. It will never be called Paycor Stadium on here unless Paycor pays us also.
But they got, it's going to be the sold out stadium, so there will probably be way more Bengal fans there than Steeler fans, which is different from in the past.
Hopefully,
yes.
So I think the last time I was
there
there and there was more Bengal fans than Steeler fans was like 1990.
Well, things have changed. This is a new Bengal era. So I look for the stadium to be rocking. I think they're going to feed off that energy, right? And they're going to come after it. I think they can zero in on Najee because Trubinsky, if he don't have enough time, he's not going to be throwing much. So they're going. I see them running a lot in the beginning, and if they can stop the run, even Trey Flowers can cover the tight ends, I think we're going to be fine there. I think our defense is going to step up and really put the pressure on them. And I see a lot of 3 and outs for them.
Yeah, Joe, hopefully we're going to sound a little bit better this time. But the thing I keep seeing is all these people say the Steelers have the weapons to hang with the Bengals. They do, but they do not have the kind of weapons the Bengals have.
I don't think the Steelers organization. Honestly, I don't think they're in in the same ballpark. Our group of wide receivers running back. You talk about our backup running backs. About Joe Burrows. I put it against any team in the league. I think it's an elite group. Will Mike Tomlin have those guys ready? Will they be Trubisky be solid? Yes. Trubisky is not. He can be solid. He can make some plays. Will Najee make some plays? You get guys out of alignment. Alignment and converting the line of scrimmage, the linebackers reading over pursuing, so on and so forth. He can make a play here and there. When we look at all the matchups, I think they have an advantage with TJ Watt is going to go. He's going to get a better line. So he's going to have. I know that he's going to make his plays. The Steelers being able to match up with us, I think is going to be dynamic. Put some points on the board. I think we're going to score often. Guys, they have some players. They're going to compete.
Well,
right now
Yeah.
we're just better.
Everybody has some players in the NFL, but Mitch Trubisky's their quarterback, Joe.
Yeah, he's a guy. So I think really even now we are. It's going to be an advantage to us. I think Pickett is going to be in there. Mitch, it's still a new. He has to get acclimated, and I think Joe Burrows is ready to go to this. Even hard to imagine Joe than what he did last year. I'm talking about a guy. This is his third year, and that's when the game time is short. And it's scary how much better. And you're talking about Chase. You're talking about T. Higgins. These guys are learning the NFL. They're not even at their peak right now.
Oh, we lost Joe again.
Lost him in the thought there.
All right, so there we go. Oh.
Yes.
All right, we're losing you again really bad, Joe. You was better for a while, but it has started dropping again. When we look at this team, Ty, you talk about the national media and the way they tend to disrespect this team. I don't think it's disrespect. I think it's just the history of what we've seen over the last 20 years of teams that lose the Super Bowl. But I think, as Joe talked about, if you look at the 88 Bengals, Mike Brown started disassembling them piece by piece right after that 1988 season. They didn't add anybody to help them. The only thing they did was take away from that team. And he took away more after 89 because he moved Joe, which then, David Fulcher went. And before you know it, a third of the roster is already different by 1991. And when you look at this team and what they've done, they've made themselves better. But I think the piece that people miss here, number one is Logan Wilson. I think he's one of the best linebackers in football. And on top of that, you've got an excellent front seven. The DBs are extremely good. If Dax Hill is what he looked like in preseason, which we don't because, preseason, you're not going to get starters for the most part. You run a vanilla defensives. You don't really know. But last year, that Super Bowl run, to me, was fueled more by the defense than it was the offense.
Oh, I agree. When you look at that defense, it kept them in a lot of the games. A lot of the turnovers, the interceptions. And everybody talks about that trio, of Chase and Higgins and Boyd. But when you look at Bates, Bell, and Hill, that's going to be something. Those guys are really going to be able to play on the ball. They got the speed. They close in. Like you said, the defensive line is much better. They proved that they could stop the run. They were fifth in stopping the run last year. And so this defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. And like you said, they didn't dismantle this team like they did in 88. They improved it. So, and I think they see a small window here because Burrow's on this rookie contract. So if they're going to do it, they can afford the talent, they can get the talent, they can keep the talent while he's on this rookie deal because they know around the corner they're going to have to drop some money on him. So this is going to be a good year, a good test to see what
a lot of money, Ty. If Kyler Murray's making $240 million, Joe Burrow should probably make $1 billion.
He's gonna prove his worth this year.
Those the pay court naming rights for nothing. They have. I can see Joe, over 400 to half a billion.
Hey, Paycor didn't give him that much money though, Joe. I think they gave him like $15 million a year.
Yeah, but they're gonna need every dime, Joe, and hopefully they can. Chase comes up in order to travel. So at the end of the day, it's the perfect time. You got Patrick Bates. He had to come back because that Hill was looking good. Here, he's a guy that eventually, if I believe he out, does he deserve? Some people say yes. Some people think he's done some great things for an organization. I think he's, but one thing I do notice
it's all about business. They draw reason. But we have everything in place. Everybody on the team is back. We improved our I think we improved our defensive back tremendously. As another year of experience, I think he'll be able to lead that team. So as our safeties, our corners have, an extreme weakness. Last year we could say, okay, you can go at Eli Apple, or you can rush, you can rush, our team now, man, it's not a glaring weakness. Are there some areas that still can be, yes, that's for every team. In my opinion, looking at this guy, looking at the core guys, and looking how these guys, if we stay healthy, I curtail this season is our injury. I think if we stay healthy, you can bring on the Kansas Cities, you can bring on the Buffaloes, like our chances. I truly like our chances. I think all facets of the game, consistently compete against any.
Yeah, and I think this, Joe, when you look at the Bengals schedule, I mean, there's a lot of games on there that are really tough games. Games like Pittsburgh or Cleveland are games that they have to win now.
You look at it, and you know what? Going into the season, you kind of look at what happened last year. So we're bringing Pittsburgh off of last year. But if you recall this point here, how everybody was judging us, no way was so here. So when you go in, these are the games that I think that you should win. And there's some schedule. We have as hard as schedule as anybody, and there's going to be one or two of those teams season doesn't live up to par, and hopefully, but there's every year you see it. There's going to be live up to their potential, and significant injuries, so on and so forth. Things. But I'm looking at a coaching. Lou in his first, absolutely no adjustments at halftime. Play calling, on offense side of the ball, how those things turned around. You look at our offensive play calling, and now you got another year with all of that and go through all the statistics, returning, and that doesn't happen. Look, you got to look past that. You got to look at United Bengals did. Who's back? We had Boomer. Boomer's a little older. You got Joey B. 4 or 5 years. Chase 2 years. These guys and what they have in his third year. And our offensive line, like those guys, a lot of guys, you learn to play at a high level. Doesn't necessarily mean if you're a first rounder, second round guys that we have now. These guys are got to play, and it is scary to have, and the potential that we have here.
Yeah, and the only thing that worries me is left guard, because I think we know Jackson Carman's not the answer.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Cordell.
Every team
Volson.
has a weakness in that.
Hey, I'm not a big Cordell Volson fan either, but if you're going to have a weakness, I'd rather have it at guard between Ted Karras and Leo Collins, which helps because that's going to make the guy a little bit better, and those guys could actually help him on the field also. So we got to predict the game. We're going to keep it at 30 minutes here, and then you guys, are you good for next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, Joe?
I am.
Yes. Next, I'll be headed to Dallas on Thursday.
You're always headed somewhere, Joe.
Always.
Going to Dallas, following the Bengals. It's football season.
Well, maybe you can throw me and Joe in your luggage and take us down.
Yeah. We'll get one.
But all right, we got to pick the game. Ty, we'll let you go first. We know you're a homer. The 3 years you've been on this show, you've always picked the Bengals. Are you going to stick with it?
Hey, I was money last year. Tell them, Joe,
Hey,
I was
I'll
money.
say, so since we're money, I want to remind everybody, betting.net finds the best promotions offers and bonus codes so you don't have to. Head over to the website now to take advantage of things like free bets and matching deposits. The Bengals are 6.5-point favorites here. So instead of picking the game straight up, Ty, would you give the 6.5 points?
Of course I would. When I look at their line and a new quarterback, I'm thinking this game's going to start off slow, and the Bengals are going to pick it up in the third quarter. So I'm going with the Bengals 27, Steelers 13. They may get a touchdown, but the rest are kicks.
All right, Joe, what do you think?
I'm going to go, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to come out. I think we're going to come out of the box swinging.
I hope so.
And I scoring, 27, 28 points. So I'm really looking at this game. I'm putting 40 on the board against the Steelers. Maybe 40-17.
All right.
I think
So Ty's less of a homer than us, Joe, because I think the Bengals win this game 41-13. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm hoping. I'm just being conservative this week.
Yeah. I'm all in.
Next week he'll pick the Cowboys. He'll pick the Bengals to beat the Cowboys 127-0.
No,
Go ahead,
I'm
Joe.
just thinking that it's going to take some time to adjust. This is a very good defense that they're facing, and these guys.
See, I don't understand why people think that, Ty. Last year, the Steelers' defense ranked like 22nd. I mean, this is not the Steelers' defense of the past. And I know they've added a couple pieces, but outside of T.J. Watt, I don't see a lot in the defensive secondary. You got Minka Fitzpatrick's a hell of a player, but their corners I don't think are very good.
You got.
But their line
linebacker.
Their line will test because they're Hightower, Watts, all those guys coming up. Miles Jack in the linebacking crew. Those guys are going to test this line early, so it's going to take. Like anything, if they haven't played in real life situations, it's going to take some time to gel and pick.
But how about this, Ty? If Miles Jack, who was a high first-round pick less than 4 years ago or so, is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, doesn't that mean things probably didn't work out for the way he was playing?
Or he went for more money. You know what I mean? That happens.
Yeah, but Jacksonville was giving money to everybody this year.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think we're still going to need some time to gel, but you never bet against Joe Burrow, man. He's money.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cocky Ty. All right, guys. Listen. So we will be back next Tuesday night at 9 o'clock to review this game and to preview the Dallas Cowboys game coming up. I know you probably will be drinking adult beverages, or I would ask you guys if you wanted to do a post-game show. But
I'll be at the stadium.
Ty's lightweight. I was thinking 8 o'clock at night. But
yeah, if I get back in time, yeah,
that might be good. I'm now, so I'm 2 o'clock would be good. I'll be packed up and stogie out on the deck.
Well, there we go. So we'll do Sunday night at 8 o'clock, the Bengals post-game report with Ty, Joe, and myself. Maybe we'll have a special guest too. So we will have more special guests as we go on this year. Let's face it. There was a few years there, Joe, where the show got kind of boring. It livened up towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any final words, Joe?
You know what? Nation. I think with the season. I also think that understand. There's going to be 16, 17 games, and there going to be some game for whatever reason. And with the success we had last year, to look at and be realistic. Last year, we're really lucky. Really lucky. And we did all that with probably one of the worst Super Bowl history. So you think of what's in the line, what we can do now. But like I said, we're think about, if guys, if it's the same, you'll see the effort, but the competition, if they're competing, these guys, some of these guys going to be smelling themselves. You know that when someone smacks them out,
Oh, hell, we lost Joe. All right, Ty, what's your prediction?
On this game or
Joe's
the season?
Internet. But yeah, just give me. You already gave a prediction for the game. How many games do they win this year?
I say this is now they have the third toughest schedule, but the front games they really have to knock out because the back, after the bye are tough. But I think they get to 10 wins, 10 to 11 wins. I really do. They've got the team. It's going to depend on health if everybody stays healthy. But, Joe Burrow is special, man. He is special. He can read the defenses. He's very good at it. So I see them winning at least 10, maybe 11 games. And I see them winning the division. I know the Ravens got people back and they were hurt last year. But they've already proven that, when you beat the Chiefs twice and you beat the Titans at home, they've got the talent and they're better. So I'm predicting 10, 11 games.
All right. I'm saying they go 12-5. I think they'll be fine. And I'm the negative guy. But as long as injuries don't bite them in the ass on the O-line or Burrow or Chase or one of those guys, I think this team's the best team in the NFL. I mean, when you look at it, I don't see huge weakness. The teams that scare me would probably be the Bills and the Chargers because I think the Chargers' defense and their offensive line are going to be much better this year. With the Chargers, I think your question is Derwin James, who I think is the best safety in football, but it's been a few years since he's played a full season. So when I look at it, I do have concerns. I don't know if those concerns are just because I'm the same age as the Bengals and I've seen the mess that has happened before, late 70s, 90s. Marvin Lewis towards the end. And I'm a little worried there that the complacency. And I think the fans get too mad about the national media because I don't know why it matters. It didn't matter last year when nobody believed in them. It doesn't matter now. It's better this way, Ty.
Well, the other thing we didn't talk about really is the third trio, which is Huber, Harris, and McPherson. Evan goes out there, Money Mac. Once he gets past the 50, that changes. That changes a lot. It changes Steelers on their field position and how they play the game. And you've got a kicker that can kick 50, 57, 58-yard field goals. That puts another dimension in this game. So, and look at how many walk-offs he won last year or kept them in the game. Or
we also lost 2 games where he missed kicks. So.
Yeah, when you look at the Packers game, I think he had to figure it out because
he missed a couple in that game.
Right, but I guess he didn't account for he kicked so high that he got into the wind at the top, and he wasn't used to that. I think now he knows more about wind velocity and how to do his kick. He's a rookie last year. I think he's going to figure it out and how to kick, in Paul Brown Paycor Stadium, right?
Paul Brown Stadium. Why are you saying Paycor still? Dude, I'm still the person that calls the Washington Redskins because that's their damn name. It's the name they were born with. It's their name. But, all right, guys, make sure you check us out at Grueling Truth, Grueling_Truth. We will get Joe's Wi-Fi issue wired or taken care of for the next show, which we'll do a Bengals postgame report at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Ty should be back from the stadium by then, shouldn't you?
Oh yeah, if we blow him out, I'll be booking home. Yeah, I'll be ready.
What do you mean if? We're gonna blow him out. You're the one that had the game relatively close.
The traffic sometimes gets crazy down there. So
Hey, and real quick, guys, when this show is over at 8 o'clock tonight, live in about 20 minutes on The Grilling Truth, it'll be NFL beat reporter Dan Kornhauser, Steve Risley, 1981 national champion with the Indiana Hoosiers, and myself for our NFL betting show. This will be the 8th year of that also. And I have won all 7 years we've ever done that. And, of course, it's not the same people that started off because everybody gave up because they couldn't win. So, Ty, you'll probably have to come on next year after these guys get beat again. But make sure you check that show out. And also, if you like NASCAR, should be a NASCAR show tonight with Steve, Joe, and Brian. Make sure you check them out. But remember, go like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out the link for our top recommended sports book for betting on the Steelers-Bengals game this weekend. But for now, for Ty Robbins, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grilling Truth, where the legend